Good afternoon. This is Lynsey Monterastelli, and I have been coaching families now for the last almost 6 years in their health and fitness, and also was a motivational speaker before I had 3 kids and married. And I'm joining you here today talking about 5 practices for a more joyful life. I've been thinking about that. Our family, we have quiet time every day, just whether you want to read, or for me, it's time I mostly spend in the Bible and His Word and meditating on that. And I was really thinking about this, and so I came up with 5 different topics. And the first is putting God first. I don't think you can have joy in your life unless you have the Lord in your heart. Because the things we naturally run to don't fill that hole. And so what I have found, and if you just research, it's so interesting. You look at all the famous people. They have all the money. They have everything money could buy. And they still aren't happy. They either do drugs or they do, all of those things. Their marriages are hard. And yet and then you look at Olympics. These people who've spent their whole life, and they get all these gold medals. If you research what has happened with Michael Phelps since the last Olympics, it is amazing. And so many others, they attain all of it, and then what? And so I really think when it comes to joy, if God is first, He really fuels that for us. And then number 2 is having the best yeses. I think oftentimes as women, we say too many yeses and not enough nos. And so my guiding principle by that is I have my top things that are, in a sense, my priorities and my boundaries in my life. So number 1 is my faith. Number 2 is my marriage. Number 3 is my kids. And then we have chosen number 4 to be my business. And so if it falls outside of those things right now in my life, I say no a lot. Yes, there's a ton of great things that I could be a part of, but it adds to stress. It adds to time and energy. And right now, those are my top 4 priorities, and those are the ones I'm going to stick with. So really considering how much you say yes and how much you say no can really help you through days. I used to be a yes person to everything, and now I say yes a lot less. And then taking care of you. We've always heard the expression, if you get into a plane, they say put your oxygen mask on first. And so if your body's not healthy, if you're not eating healthy, that has a negative ripple effect all down the line. That's why I'm totally a supporter of fitness and eating healthy, because I think it is the road to living a healthier life. And then not to compare. And so that's where I think social media gets tricky, because I think if you're on social media a lot, whether you think you compare or not, you actually do. And I've experienced that. And so that's why I have the goal of leaving my phone at home after 2 o'clock. Because I think if we're on our social media platforms too much, it's very easy to fall into the comparison trap. And everyone is struggling and battling something. And social media doesn't show that. And so I've just really learned everyone is struggling with something. And we just see a picture, we see the highlights, and so not to compare. And then to actively choose gratitude and joy. There's always something we can be hung up about. There's always something that we could focus on that could really rob us of our peace. But it is a cognitive thing to focus on the good, and training our brains to be there, to be in the good, to be in the moment, to be in the joy, because that's what we have at this moment. We have very little control over what goes on, but we do have control over what we focus on, and what we focus on grows. And so my hope for you and me is that we would grow in the good and grow on the beauty that is always around us. Even when, it comes to our marriage, comes to our parenting, not that we don't see the room for improvement, but we also focus on the good in each child, and calling that out in them, the good in our marriage, the good in our spouse, and how much better things work when we focus on that than when we focus on the lack. And then that's more of what we see. So if any of these things helped you, I would love to connect with you. Go to my blog, fithealthyjoyful.com, and feel free to make any comments below or private message me. I would love connect if I could help you in any way in regards to your health, your fitness, and or your joy. So make it a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.